Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Oops. Don't mind that. Nothing is going wrong, trust me. Alright. How's everyone doing? I personally am doing pretty good, though a bit drained, I will admit. Definitely going to leave it at just what we have left in Emerald for this run and stuff. Not going to immediately jump into Platinum, I don't think. If we do this quickly, that's a bit much. But yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes. Yeah, no, nothing's going wrong. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Don't rewind the stream. No, everything's fine. Yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna get straight into it. I am eager to get to this attempt. Hopefully the one attempt is all we need, though my track record with these things is not the best. So we'll see how that goes. But let me run through the team and stuff so that we're all on the same page. First off, we got Darl. Started with us from pretty much the very beginning, is gonna continue with us till the very end. I got him Giga Drain and Brick Break to just sort of up their power a little bit. Giga Drain exists basically for the, 2 times we'll need a grass move, where Brick Break is really their mainstay. Otherwise, I haven't really changed their moveset. They are going to be very valuable for a variety of reasons. Hopefully it's super smooth. We literally ended last time with the unpredictable bad moment, so hopefully I redeem myself. But yeah, so we got Darl, with that being the move list. Then we've got Morant, the Absol, sort of an interesting pick, but given that we're going up against a Ghost-type trainer for the second Elite Four member, having a Dark type is nice, but then funnily enough, I gave them Shadow Ball rather than a Dark type move, because in Emerald, Dark is special and Ghost is physical, which for Absol, who is a physical attacker through and through and has Swords Dance and all that kind of stuff, Shadow Ball ends up being the better option. Quick Attack is pretty much the rest of their moveset isn't changed that much. Quick Attack is just Quick Attack. Swords Dance is Swords Dance. Perish Song is our Panic move. Yes, Morant is gonna potentially prove their worth. They are what we are relying on predominantly for an entire member of the Elite Four, so we'll see how they do. But then we got Garanth, the Hariyama, who hasn't really had any time in the limelight yet, but is such a physical tank, and has just a really solid moveset, all things considered, I think. Fake Out they already had, it's just a good opener. Vital Throw is their main attacking move, that's what they're mainly going to be using. Because they're already pretty slow, so it going last doesn't really matter. We're also very tanky. Earthquake is here because type coverage and powerful physical move. And Belly Drum is to make it so that Grumph just obliterates anything in one hit, pretty much. Hopefully we don't die in the process, but we'll see. Then we got the newest addition to the team, Spumbo, the one thing I actually caught between last stream and now. Spumbo exists to obliterate the entirety of every dragon in this Elite Four run. We got Ice Beam, of course, it's going to be Stab, it's going to be powerful. Surf is just a solid water move. Body Slam, they just had, and it's fine. And then we have Rest with a Chesto Berry in case we start to get hurt, but they are also very tanky. Actually, quite a few of our guys are pretty damn tanky. Not so Morant, but we got some tanky folks. But then we got Baikel, who once again has not had time in the sun prior to now, but really having an electric type for Wallace is a really valuable thing. barely even changed their moveset, really, just made sure they had a powerful electric move, and left it at that. They also just work out better than our one other electric type option, which was a Voltorb. So they should be good, all things considered. They're tanky, lines up typing-wise, that kind of thing. Confuse Ray is Confuse Ray. And then finally, we got Lebneb, who, where everyone else sort of has a specific role they're serving for a specific fight, and then also cover some other details, Lebneb is almost entirely fill-in moments, as there's one or two mons that flying type is the most, like, effective type. There's one or two where steel is, like, decent. I sort of struggled with what to make that last move. But then Dragon Breath, I think I could have gotten Dragon Claw, but I admittedly just sort of didn't spend a ton of time prepping for this, because I've been busy with recording all my anime shit recently. And then, of course, they have Dragon Dance. So they basically are going to be the one who fills in a few spots that were lacking. Yeah, slack off on Grumph would have been very nice, but no. But yeah, so we are, all things considered, pretty tanky. Grumph is playing a little risky with the belly drum, but as long as we can take a few hits, Grumph is gonna obliterate people. Yeah, so basically, what the plan ends up being is that Darl is the main person we're throwing out first, but Darl and Grumph are sort of between the two of them, meant to sort of sweep, what's his name, Sydney's team, so, because he's a Dark-type trainer. And between the two of them, I think realistically we can handle it. Oh, that's good to know once we get there. Once we get to Platinum, that'll be huge. But yeah, so Darl and Grumph are for Sydney mainly. Then for Phoebe, the Ghost-type Elite Four member, that's where Marent comes in first and foremost. Really is just a case of throw Marent at them and trust that Marent can do their best. Because Darl and Grumph are gonna have limited capacity against Phoebe. And worst case scenario, Baikel, Spumbo, and Lebneb can pick up the slack. But if we can get a belly drum up and then just start hitting Grumph... Well, not, sorry. Mixing up things. If Marent can just survive long enough with Shadow Balls, they should be fine. With just a little help from other members. That's sort of the loosest one, because it's pretty much just we have someone who is good against them. Then Glacia, Ice-type, that's where Grumph and Darl come back in again. Realistically, Grumph is probably going to be able to just sweep that whole thing by belly drumming and then exploding everything. And then for Drake, that's Dragon, so we got Spumbo, first and foremost, with the key exception of, if necessary, Lebneb has the double-edged sword of they are Dragon-type with a Dragon-type move, so they can pick up some slack potentially. And then for Wallace, Baikel hopefully can sweep pretty well, and we'll see how it goes from there. Yeah, having taken a preliminary look at movesets and stuff, they are pretty decently set up. I wouldn't say they're necessarily, like, super crazy in certain ways, but they are pretty substantial teams. They have good type coverage on a lot of things. They have some pretty good stuff. But with all of that said and out of the way, I think it's about time to go. We are all at level 49, that is correct. We don't have much in the way of items to give people, but I can certainly give one or two more things to a couple people. Though it's not their main use case, might as well give the Mystic Water to someone with Surf. I don't think we have anything specific for Morant right now, but I will throw them a berry of some kind. Let's... Given what they're going to be going up against once it's their turn, let's give them a actual, like, semi-decent heal item. And I guess let's do the same to Lebnep. As for the others, I already mentioned what Spumbo has. Spumbo has a Chesto Berry so that we can do the rest tactics, and we have more Chesto Berries, so we can repeat that each fight if necessary. Meanwhile, Garumph and Darl both have Persim Berries, because there are, I believe, at least 2 Mons on the first team that have a way to confuse. So, making sure that doesn't happen is good. Yes, Shiftry is one of the sort of potential scare points, but with 2 fighting types, I'm hoping we end up fine. But worst case scenario for Shiftry, we can jump onto Lebneb or something like that, because flying also works there. Or even, we have options for that. But, yeah. With that, let's do it. I've already bought a ton of full restores and stuff. Between berries and items, we have ways to restore PP. I've already applied PP ups. We should be good. Let's see how we do. Alright. Hopefully it goes better than some of our last few runs. Hopefully this is an actual win. Alright. Let's do it. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully no losses in these first couple fights, but I'm not gonna assume anything. Alright, so we are gonna get intimidated here, which is unfortunate. We're gonna see how good damage-wise things are with just a brick break at first. They do outspeed us, and Sand Attack is annoying. But we do still hit through, and we're 3 levels higher, though we are intimidated. 1 off kill. Okay, they're going to heal because of that. So, to undo the Intimidate and set us up onto Garumph, I'm gonna switch to Garumph so that, you know, things are better that way. Because they're guaranteed healing, they're wasting a full restore on their weakest Mon. That way we don't have reduced strength or anything. I'm tempted to Belly Drum. Might have been a low roll. Let's do it, let's try this. Double Edge, okay, how much damage does that do? Hopefully not enough for us to die. Okay, that is scary. Yeah, that is scary. Might have been a mistake. I also should have faked out, oh well. I don't think we outspeed, okay, that might have been a big mistake. That definitely was a mistake, I think. I was wanting to set it up for future, but I underestimated how much damage they were gonna do. Yeah. That was bad on my part. Already a bit of a mistake. Underestimated how... Yeah, It hurts to just jump back to Darl. I don't know if we can tank a hit. I might have just fucked us up royally. What? Yeah, well, okay. So, their Double Edge did enough damage that after having our health, we ended up at 45. So... if it sees a kill, it will attack, and that's what scares me. I'm just trying to do some, like, quick mental math, because Double Edge is, I believe, its most damaging move. Almost certainly, though Crunch is another thing it has. which with stab is also pretty substantial. I'm not going to sacrifice Garamp. Belly Drum, I think, is off the table now. I wanted to give it a shot because of how powerful it can be. Yeah, they absolutely saw a kill. Don't love how much damage that did to us. Might have been what sort of fucks us up. Maybe a Giga Drain to just sort of offset our health. We have plenty of those. Let's see how well it does for us. It's not going to be super effective or anything, but it will be stab. That is not enough. Okay, I might have fucked up royally. Fuck. Well, we'll certainly kill with this. Oh, they withdrew! Wow. Oh, straight into Shiftry. Okay. Well, this isn't going to be super effective. If only I had gone for the other move. Okay. So they have extrasensory, correct? Yeah, they have extrasensory. So we gotta be careful here. Because that almost certainly will kill us. Garamp is out of this fight already, unfortunately. If I jumped to Morant, we would be completely fine against an extrasensory, I believe. And then from there, I don't know, from there, sir, is something. He does have a flying move, so that is entirely... Like, if we want to go on the offensive, Lebnev is the answer. Let's see, what are Shiftry's other moves? Is Torment a damaging move? I don't think it is, but... Right, prevents use of same move twice in a row. Okay. In which case... Though they have Double Team, which is scary, and Swagger, which I'm not fond of. Extrasensory is their only damaging move? So actually... We could just go to Morant and say, you can't hurt us. So, I think that is the answer, because Double Team will be annoying, but... Oh well. Torment is somewhat annoying, but fine. And Swagger will also be annoying, because we can hurt ourselves with that. But... we at the very least can get a pretty clean pivot in. Because it's almost certainly going for the extrasensory as a kill. Yep. Doesn't do anything. Now, because that doesn't do anything, they're going to do something other than that. Which means either I could just sit here, or I could pivot out. Actually, we could Perish Song and then pivot out, but that sounds silly. I think I'm going to try some stuff out on Morant, and then we'll go from there. I actually could just set up a Swords Dance and then hit him hard. Not necessarily like... Yeah, the main thing I'm concerned about with setting up is just the danger of getting confused from Swagger. But if we can't be hurt by Shiftry, we can just sort of last out the confusion, arguably. I suppose. Yeah, at least I'll do one Swords Dance. I'll do one. Okay, yeah, what I was hoping wouldn't happen. But oh hey, they're upping our strength for us, our attack rather. But now we're confused. But we still use it, that's good. Meaning our attack is massively raised, probably don't need to raise it more. Let's see what a quick attack does, assuming we don't hit ourselves. We're good. That That's pretty good! That's not bad for a non-stab, low-power move. I'm gonna take it, and I'm just gonna keep swinging, because I want to hit it before it can, like, double-team too much. So that's one of the higher-level Mons in their team. And I guess now we just sort of stay in more into as long as we can, because just like thinking about it, we're resistant to dark and shit. So as long as they don't have a bug or fighting move, we should be fine. Yeah, so this one's grass, so that's neutral, but alrighty, yeah. So we don't want a Shadow Ball here because they're resistant, and we don't even have Stab, really. So let's see how much we snapped out of the confusion. Perfect. Let's see how much a Quick Attack does to a slightly lower level. Not quite a one-shot. What does a Needle Arm do to us? More than I would hope, but we are completely fine because we kill on a Quick Attack. This is not at all how I expected this fight to go. I royally fucked up in the beginning, but it might be a Morant sweep. There's the Mighty Enna we hated so much, and there's the Intimidate that's just offsetting our buffs. So at this point, realistically, just swapping out when is convenient is fine. Yeah, and because we have Quick Attack as what we're doing, we're not at risk of... If we can one-shot, we're not at risk of dying. So, Crawdont. They have Surf and Swords Dance and Strength and Facade. That is scary. I think we can take at least one hit, though, and then we'll go from there. Let's see how much a Quick Attack does. Okay, unless that was a low roll, we're not two-shotting. Jesus Christ! Oh, boy! You did good, Morant. Get out of there! Alright, scary as all hell. Alright, so against Crawdont, realistically, Spikle would be good, because resist the Surf, and have an electric move to shoot back at it. Yeah, that's probably our best option. Yeah, that was terrifying. We need more to survive to next fight. Holy shit. Facade, okay, gross. Once again, does more than I would hope it does, but not enough for me to be truly scared. Presumably a Thunderbolt kills, and we did just outspeed, that's good. 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 But now we're into their ace, which is Absol, I believe. I think we can do this. I wish our fighting types were conscious, but I think this is just we hit it hard wherever we can. I could attempt to confuse Ray, but that isn't necessarily the most reliable. Let's see how much a Thunderbolt does, and how much they do to us. I don't love the Swords Dance. Okay. Without, like, berries or anything getting in the way, that would be a two-shot. Let's see how this does. Also, let's see how much a Rock Slide does to us. Jesus Christ, okay, if this doesn't kill, we're swapping. Oh my god, okay, here's a big question. Does Sydney have more than one potion? How the fuck would I find that out? That's the second time I've gotten one of these mons to, like, essentially won. God, I wish we were getting slightly higher rolls. What items does Sydney have? 2 potions? Okay, he's guaranteed to use his potion then. I don't see why he wouldn't. Which means either we can get another hit in on Baikel, or we can get a clean pivot. I also just want to double-check Absol's speed. 75 base. Okay. Because if this is a clean switch, we could bring in someone like Darl. But Darl isn't fast enough. And Hariyama definitely isn't. Garump is definitely not fast enough. So we could bring in Spumbo for just tanking. That's a good point, too. But realistically, Darl's going to die to a single hit no matter what if we bring him in. So Darl is not a good idea regardless. Okay, yeah. The fact that they have good type coverage is unfortunate here. But I think Spumbo might be the answer. Oh, no, that's a good point. Yeah. Oh, Rock Slide, goddammit. Yeah, so against our 2 healthy people, they have an answer. Because Rock Slide is good against both Spumbo and Lebneb. Okay. I think our best answer is to try to counteract their potion with Baikel, then switch to Spumbo, because Spumbo is our tankiest. Fastest? That's a good question. Not Baikel. We unfortunately don't have the fastest team out there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, unfortunately, Lebneb is our fastest, which is not ideal. Okay. Here's a thought. I think because they're going to heal, we know this. Baikel Thunderbolts, if we get a crit, we just win. Otherwise, they... Yeah, because otherwise it gets them to about half. Then we can switch to Spumbo, because they're... Ah, my brain. This first fight was not meant to be this scary. Yeah, because if they Rock Slide, it's gonna fucking hurt on any of our healthy people. Okay. Let's just commit to something. Let's commit to something. I'm Thunderbolting. They heal. Let's see how well our hit does. They've already used their berry. They've used all their potions. We have to pivot after this, because we don't have something that goes quickly on Baikel. The only people with enough health to survive switching in are Spumbo and Lebneb. Spumbo is the tankier of the two, with more health and, I believe, more defense. Yeah. Except for not special defense, but defense is what we're looking for. Worst case scenario, we have rest. and then we can just Surfer, Body Slam, or Ice Beam. And hopefully it's enough. That's the plan. The Aerial Haste, interesting. Does more than I want to, still. And now they're absolutely going to be going for that, and we are going to be outsped. Please tell me this doesn't kill Spumbo. That would be so fucking annoying if it did. What is higher power? They're the same. Just one might freeze. Yeah, the single Swords Dance is really what is doing this. Probably gonna die here, but we can hope. Yeah. Well, we don't have an answer for dragons anymore. I'm going into Morant because I hope that Quick Attack will be enough. God damn it. Oh, this is going horribly. No, doesn't have Mach Punch. Replaced it for a higher power move, sort of stupidly. Anyways, I don't know why I just sent out Darl, I was just thinking about him. Anyways, time to die, Darl. Why did I send Darl out? Something tells me we're not winning. This went so bad so fast. Lebnev outsped. If I just sent in Lebnev, it would have Darl. That was fucking stupid of me. A stupid mistake at the beginning into a stupid mistake at the end. Cost us 3 fucking Pokemon. And, like, key Pokemon. God fucking damn it. Not how I wanted this to start. If I had just not belly drummed, I probably could have handled that. That's pissing me off. Alright. Person Berry isn't going to really be relevant going forward. Okay, what do we even do now? Phoebe, we have no specific answer for anymore. We don't have any moves that are super effective against Ghost. So we have things that they aren't resistant to outside of Gramph with Vital Throw. Yeah, there was some stuff that did not go as planned there. Okay. Alright. I guess we just throw our most powerful thing at the wall and hope it works. Let's see. Dusclops is equally physical and special defensive. Bennett might as well be, and Sableye is about the same as well, so it doesn't matter which one we're doing on that front. So I think Mystic Water buffed Stab Surf is probably our best. Just like from sheer power. I'm fucking annoyed with how that went. Before we continue, though, we need to, of course, level. What's the level cap? 51, so 2 levels. Huh, Hydro Pump. We could just, Hail Mary on Hydro Pumps, I guess. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna use Flail ever, really. Yeah, sure, let's have it, in case we need it. Should be able to kill things with Hydro Pump. Just double checking, 51, yes. Seismic Toss. Just would do 51 damage. I guess it's an option. I'll take it instead of Belly Drum, because I now hate Belly Drum. I know that hypothetically Belly Drum can be good, but god, that was not worth it. Alright. Let's do it. Let's see how we handle this. Yeah, no, it's the unfortunate thing of a single hit plus Belly Drum got me low, so... And then don't have the speed to really beat things. Okay. Let's see what a Surf does. I guess we'll see what it does next turn. I guess we'll see what it does next turn. This fucking Dusclops is fucking with me. Alright, we outspeed. That's good to know. Okay, we 50-50. Yeah, if it raised speed, that would be nice. Anyways, we should just kill here. Unless we got a high roll into a low roll or some shit. Or we could just crit. Maybe we'll win this because we just remember the strategy of crit. We didn't do that at all last time. Alright, immediately into the other Dusclops. That is their ace. Jesus Christ. Also, Jesus Christ, I'm already down to 7 Surfs. I guess they had pressure? Let's try a Hydro Pump. Let's see how much that does. Scary. And they have Earthquake. Scary. Because it's super effective, yeah, that's... no. Probably Lebneb because they have Earthquake? Probably? Oh no, they have Ice Beam. Oh no. No! I guess we're going into Grumph. Because we cannot let Lebneb stay in there. Admittedly, does Lebneb outspeed? Absolutely. So we could go Lebneb knowing we're going to outspeed and that they have no reason to Ice Beam on the pivot. But then if we don't kill, we die. And we probably won't kill. Yeah, let's go to Grumph. Don't love one of our Mons being that low already. Okay, Rock Slide. It's a good thing we didn't go to Lebneb. So they're absolutely going to... They're absolutely gonna, like, Shadow Ball or some shit. Yeah, they don't have a specific move that is super effective against us, so our tankiness might save us. But Shadow Ball is stab, so that's always scary. Earthquake is just scary in general. Okay. We just came in. But that's normal, so if we can't fake out, that would be a waste. Seismic Toss would do 51 damage. Presumably, that's not their full health. But this is where I do some math. No, it is not, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Ghost is neutral against fighting. But I just want to see if I can find something to estimate their health. Okay. Let's see here. A Dusclops. I'm trying to be as careful about this as I can because we have very few options. Level 51. They have just over 50% health, pretty much. Would not kill on a Seismic Toss. Well, also, actually, what am I saying? Seismic Toss is fighting. I'm dumb! I am a bit of an idiot. Earthquake is all we have. Let's see how much it does. It is 100 power, so... Not a kill. They Shadow Ball. Okay, that's fine. And they eat a berry, which probably actually makes them not potion. So if we do this again, they'll get low, and then next turn they'll potion. Damn, that's close. Yeah, we're tanking well. Gareth... Unless they fucking crit us. Alright, I'm doing another Earthquake and then pivoting because they're healing. Alright, we need to pivot because though Grumph won't be able to do much in this fight, if we can manage to get to next fight, Grumph is sort of necessary. We can't rely on Lebneb for next fight. Yeah, we just need a good crit. That's all we need. Anyways, we die to a single hit after this turn, so Lebneb's gonna be gone, but we can do our best. What's better between Aerial Ace and Dragon Breath? They're the same power. Just one can't miss. Okay. And then that's technically higher power, but has higher chance of missing and isn't stab. Alright, what am I trying to check? What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, I guess that's something to check. What is... It's probably not going to matter, but what is better between special attack and attack? They're the same, effectively. Woo! Okay, so I guess we're going to Aerial Ace, because that just guaranteed hits. I think we should outspeed, but that really doesn't change. Okay. Yeah, there isn't really a good answer here, because they have two different ways to kill us instantly. Yeah, there isn't a good answer here. Unless we crit. That is not a crit. Maybe we can take one Ice Beam? Maybe? That's a no. Because they crit! What the fuck? God fucking damn it. Alright, looks like we've lost. Michael was the one who did the best out of everybody, so maybe a Hydro Pump can take it. Okay, we hit! And we kill! Oh god, this did not go as planned. But oh hey, maybe if we just do Hydro Pump again and again and again, we'll win. Ignore the fact that we only have one. Oh my god, at least we're hitting them. But it doesn't kill and they Shadow Ball us, so we die. Alright. Can the fighting type win against 3 ghost types? When at no health? Surely. Nope, we get outspent. We had such a good setup for after the first fight, and honestly a decent setup for the first fight as well, and we just fucked it up in the first fight. Great! Woo! Well, good stream, guys! 45 minutes in and we're done! No, oh no. We have, though I'm not going to worry about, like, scrounging up moves or anything like that, because that, I do not have the energy for that. We do have at least a few mons that we can use as potential options. That fucking sucked. I want to strip the items off of them as well. I'm fucking annoyed. Okay. I can't fucking take the items while in here. I guess I can do it once I go to move items. Alright. We can replicate some of our strategy. And then Abunga's also there. This is gonna be a lot less planned of a strategy this time. The fucked up thing is we're not gonna have any ice. Yeah, Flygon is gonna be our best bet for Drake. It's just gonna be a double-edged sword. Meaning it's probably not gonna last the entire fight. Though, actually... Wait a goddamn minute. We could set up Meteo to be an ice-based, build. Oh boy, that certainly is an option. Maybe? Like, maybe. Because we have to Tomp realistically for serving double duty for both Sydney and Glacia. And yeah, we could bring Cast Form for that as well. Having two options for Glacia. And then for Phoebe, we have Hoenn, who hopefully we can actually do the strategy. Hopefully. Then, don't mind me as I think for a moment. Yeah, and also, realistically, our team ends up very good against Glacia, because Abunga, one of his main roles will be Steel. Against that, I guess. And then Drake, we would have Cast Form and Jarenth. So we do actually have some answers there. And then Clevompted. Why do I name my Voltorb so bad? Well, I guess in this case Electrode. We have them for Wallace, if we get that far. Yeah, that is an idea. That is definitely an idea. Sure. Alright. I guess we go to leveling and seeing what TMs we have. This is not how I planned this to go. Alright, I'm gonna just double check to make sure that we don't need to force evolve anybody. We already have Tatomp at full, Hoenn at full, so realistically we want to pull up a Bunga. I think Aeron and that line evolves just through level. Yeah, so that's just level. And then Jarenth, I think, is just through level as well. But always good to double check. Yep. And then Meteo doesn't evolve. So let's just pump up some levels. Vital Throw, that is good power. Higher crit ratio is really nice. I think I'm gonna get rid of Foresight. Sure. There is a use case for it, but we should be fine. Alright, and we're going to level 49 this time, because that is the level cap for Sydney. Hopefully, I think we have enough. I don't want to hurt ourselves, and that's bad accuracy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have enough rare candies. Not like any of these people other than Jarenth are massively underleveled. Oh, cross chop. High crit ratio, 80 accuracy. In a pinch, it's good. But I think Revenge is more of an in-a-pinch type move anyways. So I think we're fine. Alright, 3 more levels for it to top. Yeah, this is definitely not as concretely planned a party as the one I had before, but maybe I won't fuck up this time because I think I can pull off a strategy that I can't. Ooh, Crunch is a good upgrade, because that's going to bring it up to 80 and can lower special defense. That's pretty nice. Howl boosts attack. That's always nice. Swagger is pretty decent. Takedown hurts the user, and Normal is not going to have a lot of use cases in this. So I could go for the double dark moves, but that's a little silly. I think I'm just replacing Bite. Alright, one more. And then Abunga gets a few. There's the evolution. Let's let this play out, because I like to let that play out. I am happy to be able to see Abunga in this, though, because as I've said in previous streams, Aggron holds a special place in my heart. One of my early favorites as a kid. One of my more cherished, like, cards from the card game. Yeah, I'm a fan of the line. I've basically never used them, because I have barely played any gen where they are easily accessible. Like, I've played Emerald a decent amount, but mostly in Nuzlocke, and I've basically never been lucky enough to get him. So, yeah. But, hey! He's here now, and maybe will be our ticket to victory. Anyways, Jarenth is gonna get Crunch, okay. I forget how many Dark-type moves they get. Gonna replace Bite, I guess. The fucked up thing is that I already used our Earthquake TM in a place that realistically wasn't necessary. Yeah, there's a lot of Mons that end up being more post-game, I feel like, in Gen 3 that are much more accessible Gen 3. Ooh, Dragon Breath, that's nice. Gonna replace Sand Attack. Alright. Up we go. Hopefully he learns a better ground-type move, because otherwise we're gonna have to fucking improvise. There's the next evolution, up to Flygon. Alright. But part of me sort of doubts that they will. Alright. Yep, they're fully leveled and didn't learn a better ground-type move. Amazing. Anyways, Clivumpted is already fully leveled, because I leveled them to compare stats with a certain other electric type that I decided to use instead. And that means it's just Meteo, and then we will snag some items, and see what we can do about moveset. There we go. So, what do our movesets look like? Lots of fighting. all different, like, scenario choices for just damage. Crunch, mainstay here. Howl will be for if we can stack up, which honestly probably could do in Sydney if necessary. We could pull the same strategy. Yes, no, I understand why Earthquake is so hard to get because of how good it is. Just sucks that we can't use it, really. Because I fucking wasted it, pretty much. Then we have a Bunga who has Iron Tail, and that realistically is their main thing. If we can throw a rock move on them, though, that would be ideal. Surprisingly, a lot of Dark here, so actually has some use case in the Ghost Zone as well. Dragon Breath is the key thing. Ground is less important here, but if we can find a better ground move, we can put that on them. And then... oh boy. Do we have to go gambling to get a better electric-type move? I think we have to go gambling. Which I don't think I have the energy for right now, if I'm being completely honest. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's through gambling. Yeah, we get it the first time just as a gift, but then it's fucking gambling, which I was able to avoid in grinding, so... oh, I thought I was gonna be able to avoid it. I don't think I'm up for grinding 4,000 coins right now. We're just gonna have to go with Spark, I guess. Unless I have Thunder in my back pocket. 65 power is fine. And then there's Weather Ball. Realistically, we could get rid of Rainy Dance, because I don't think we're going to go water mode, really, ever. I don't think that's something we need. But I don't know what specifically to replace it with. I also am just wanting to remind myself on how Weather Ball works, because I've never used Cast Form in my fucking life. That is a good point. I could save time and call my friend. It is something we could viably get. I think I did do that before on a previous run, so I might do that. Thank you for reminding me that that is a valid option. Okay, Weather Ball is actually very fucking good. 100 power when it's in a weather condition. Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. Alright. So we can sort of leave Miteo as is, realistically. Oh, we can give the Thunderbolt there. Let's see what ground stuff we have. Let's see what rock stuff we have for a Bunga. And then we should be good. Alright. We have Bulk Up if I really wanted to do that. That's true. That's true. That is a thing to double check. No type changes as well, apparently. So, assuming it works correctly. Okay, Shockwave is not as good power, but never misses. We have Rock Tomb, which is 80 accuracy. That's annoying. But hypothetically would be still viable. We also could go for Overheat. Yeah, so I think Rock Tomb is our best bet for giving to a Bunga. Yeah. Just to give them a stab rock move. Yeah, I tend to think the same, but I mean, after how well those hydro pumps were doing, sometimes it's worth it. Alright. So we have that. We don't have a good ground thing, and I don't think Earthquake is something we can get again, but I'll double check. Oh, never mind. It is repeatable. You just need fucking pickup ability at 1% chance at levels 91 to 100. Okay. I think we have somebody with pickup. I generally, with the idea of the Thunderbolt gambling via my friend, I think my philosophy is if we have the means to do it, but it would take an annoyingly large amount of time, then I will give it to us. I just need to double check how pickup works specifically. Because it may not technically be in our grasp, depending on how it works. Dee-boop-bee-ba. Want to make sure we have everything at our disposal. Yeah, okay, so given that, I don't think I'm gonna let myself have Earthquake because it would require Mrug to be massively high level, which sort of goes up against the, spirit of the level cap. So, not gonna do that. What? Okay. What could our dear friend Jarenth learn that is a ground-type move that isn't Sand Tomb? Let's see. If we can access the move tutor with it, Mud Slap is technically a little bit better, sort of. They could have learned Dig at some point, pre-evolution-wise. Yeah, that fucking sucks. Where's the Dig TM? On a random route. Hypothetically an option. Let's see if I picked it up and just overlooked it. Also wild how many people are tuning into me menuing and planning. But I appreciate y'all being here nonetheless. Nope, don't have Dig. In which case, we could get it, but I'm just gonna be simple, and while I'm having my friend get Thunderbolt, do that as well, because, I would have to juggle, I'd have to figure out who has Fly right now, and then pivot them into the team, and yeah. Just gonna keep it simple. So we could pick that up, because we have access to everywhere pretty much in the game, and it's on just a route. So we're fine there. Unless secretly there's, like, something to it. Gonna just make sure of that so I'm not, secretly cheating. Okay, it's a gift from something or someone. Who gives it? Who the fuck gives it? Bibbidi boop. Yeah, okay, it's just someone in a house next to Fall Arbor Town. So, yeah, that's reasonable, that's doable. Alright, in which case I'm just going to, while I'm thinking about it, snag the items from the dead. But I need to put that into the bag. 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 Not like we have any crazy items, but, you know, every little bit helps. Alright. Let's do it. Alright. Gonna get my friend in here to help me out real quick so that we don't have to worry about spending so long gambling and such. Only should take a moment. Alrighty. Yeah, that first run did not go at all how I was hoping it would. Not in any way. But hopefully, because of that, this one goes unexpectedly well. Who knows if that'll be the case, but you never know. Things can always go better than expected. Alright. Good old dig. And good old Thunderbolt. There we go. My friend has supplied me with the proper TMs, and I am applying them to our Mons. There we go. Oh, nice! That's fun! I am not the kind of person who pays attention to random video game birthdays, because I'm horrible at real birthdays too, but that's fun. I always enjoy when we know the birthdays of, like, fictional characters. It's always just a fun thing. Alright. Ba-da-ba-ba. Alright, seems like everything's in order. This is such a weird team. Let's do it. So, Tatomp, realistically, is our best bet for first, I think. Just gonna double-check that I'm not fucking something up. Because we're going up against Dark. We're dealing with Mighty Anna again, which is annoying. Yeah, we should be fine on that, and worst case scenario, we pivot like we did before, and things won't fuck up like they did last time. That's fair, that's fair. When it's tied to that kind of thing, it's a lot easier to remember. Alright, I guess I should give some items, or at least berries, to people before we get in. Let's give some... This is the wrong menu. Some things that counteract confusion. There's one to Tatomp. Onlon, realistically, is one of the people we might bring in. So, yeah. And then beyond them... Against the pure dark types, none of our other people are specifically valuable. But someone like Mitio, or... Yeah, pretty much Mitio would have some merit against the grass types. via Hail. And then the Crawdaunt as well for Meteo, but then also Clivumpted. Yeah, but we have answers. And then, yeah, okay. So, just gonna give some other berries to people, and then we'll go from there. We only have so many citrus berries, but if we don't get through this early part, we don't get through it, so not gonna be stingy. And if they don't have to use them, then they can carry them into the next battle. Alrighty. With that, we are ready for the next attempt. Let's do it. Let's see if this one goes better than the last. We have a feel for how things go in this fight a little better now. Hopefully it doesn't go horribly. Come on, Tomp. I know that you're gonna be fucking cut in half attack-wise, but surely you're fine. Could have double-checked this before, but gonna do it now. What is just baseline our highest power move? That's better once we're injured. Moves last but never misses at 70. Has high crit ratio, but is 50, and that's just level. Okay. And I doubt we outspeed, but just gonna double-check. Okay, we're going up against base speed of 70, but then we are slightly higher level. Buddy-bo-ba. Where Machamp, our good old Tatomp, is slower. Yeah. Let's try to avenge the fallen, indeed. Alright. So we're already getting outsped, so let's just Vital Throw and see how it goes. Of course, they Sand Attack us. We're 3 levels higher. It's super effective. Okay, not a one-shot. They might heal here, but realistically, if we don't miss a Karate Chop, should be enough. Especially if they double-edge themselves. Let's just make sure we don't miss. We don't. Wanting to maintain as many of the Vile Throws as possible. Don't want to waste PP. So even with halved power, we're doing decently. Okay, it's Shift Rate. Time to pivot. Gonna go to Hoenn, because this strategy worked well last time. Hoenn has a berry to protect against confusion via Swagger. Don't love the double team. That I don't love. I would do setup with Howl if it wasn't for the fact that Crunch is special. Which is so fucking stupid. So we're gonna avoid the confusion here. Yeah, I always struggle to tell with the yellow range what is and isn't heal range. Oh, I guess that isn't very effective. Duh, we're up against a dark type. I forgot. The thing that worked was because we had, like, takedown and shit. In that case, maybe I will Howl. If they miss another Swagger, I won't deny that. Alright. Don't want to risk it too much, though, because they can confuse us again here, so let's see what a takedown does, maybe? No, we can afford one more. Okay, they do get that off, so we will actually be confused now. I guess I could have swaggered them, but whatever. They're just giving us attack buffs, and we hurt ourselves, which is scary. Jesus Christ, hopefully we're fine to do a single takedown. Don't hit yourself and kill. Okay. But we're absolutely switching after this. Yeah, because that's way too much recoil. Yeah, if we hadn't hurt ourselves there, I totally would go for another attack, but Hoenn did their duty in this, like, fight. That's all we need. Okay. Cacturn, what is their moveset? Cacturn has grass moves and dark moves, so they are gonna do a grass move, because a dark type is resistant to dark, meaning that of our folks, who would be the best to throw out? Clevumpted would resist it. So would Gerenth. And then they wouldn't have necessarily specifically powerful things against Cacturn, but it could work. Oh yeah, Fire Ice form could be good here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because if we went Fire form, we'd be able to handle just what we're about to go up against, pretty much. Yeah, it's a lot of attacks to eat. I think throwing in someone who is resistant and tanky is the better option, so Gerenth might be the move. Because we have a lot of health. Our defense isn't crazy. Our Dark-type moves wouldn't be good. But they wouldn't resist our Dragon Breath. Meanwhile, Clevumpted would resist by being an electric type, and they would resist electricity. So, yeah, I think Gerenth is the right option, unless we think Tatomp can tank. They're definitely going to try to attack because they're going to see a kill. What's Tatomp's defense? Oh, it's going good. We're, well, good is relative. We already fucked up our first attempt at the Elite Four tonight, and we're currently in the first battle of our second attempt. Yeah, and we're just all fucking fighting type moves here. But what I was wanting to check is we have slightly better defense here. Okay. I'm just gonna go Gerenth and see how it goes. One of our healthiest players, like, Mons right now. How much does this do to us? Not enough to be truly scary, but still not great. Let's see how much we do with Dragon Breath. It's Stab, 60 power. 3-shot? Okay. What does Conspore do again? Speed harshly fell. Okay, that's sort of annoying, but not the worst thing in the world. Another Needle Arm. Okay, we're down to the yellow. We can, unless they crit, survive long enough to kill here. Actually, never mind, they're gonna full restore. I guess better here than on the ace. Yeah, we're hoping to avoid crits and get crits ourselves. Oh, interesting, into the feint attack. Yeah, okay, we have to swap now. But we've wasted... Oh, actually, wait, we have our berry. We have our berry. I think we can survive one more hit as long as they don't crit. Yes, good. The berry helped. It means we can take out Cacturn and then pivot from there. Down to 2. Crawdont, okay. Crawdont. I think Clumvit is probably our best offensive option here. Because weak to electricity. Also weak to fighting, of course, so if we need to, Tatomp can come in. Meanwhile, what's their moveset? Surf, Swords Dance, Strength, Facade. So normal and water is what we're scared of attacks-wise. Meaning that... If we're trying to tank those... Plumvet is just sort of neutral to that. Abunga would resist... No, Abunga would actually... Yeah, Abunga would resist normal, but be weak to water, so not really worth it. Gerenth does actually resist... water? So they're probably going to go for normal. Maybe. But... I think ultimately... Clevumpted being what we start with and then going from there, because hopefully we can tank 2 hits. Also, we paralyze on contact, which is nice. We don't have great defenses, but let's give it a shot. Let's see how much this does to us. Whatever it is they do. Surf, okay. More than I would like. If that was a high roll, we won't die to a hit. If it was... But if it was a low roll, we do die to a hit. We definitely outspeed. We can't just keep pivoting around. I trust in either that they low roll, or they low roll. I trust. I believe. Also, we also can just one-shot. That always works. I think it was a good idea to get that Thunderbolt. That works. But now we're dealing with the Ace. And this is scary. This Ace has Aerial Ace and Slash and Rock Slide. And Swords Dance, of course. Yeah, he has a Potion, a Berry, and 3 attacking moves. And something that buffs all of them. The question is, do they see a kill? They have super good attack. They have really good attack. They definitely see a kill. We definitely outspeed, though. It's just we don't, you know... we don't kill on a one-shot. And I don't want to lose Clevumpted yet. So, because we have answers for Glacia, I'm going to believe into Tom. To tank a hit, and then do something. Actually, wait. Speed-wise, what is to Tom? Compared to Absol? Slower. That's what it is. Oh, but the Aerial Ace to Tomp is weak too as well. Ugh, that's scary. Okay. Okay, what does their Absol not have coverage on? They have coverage against fighting. They have coverage against flying, but we don't have flying currently, I don't believe, because I think Mitio is just normal type. Yeah. But of course, it changes with weather. But Mitio isn't specifically useful against Absol. Especially when needing to set up. Gerenth... Yeah, Helon and Gerenth are too low. And then Abunga... Abunga hasn't gotten any time in the sun yet, and is very physically defensive. Is resistant to flying and rock. And normal. The flying, rock, and normal are all resisted fairly well. Abunga, it's your time to shine. High defense and resist. Just double-checking that we aren't fucking ourselves on the move side of things, because we have Iron Tail, we have Takedown, we have Rock Tomb, and Absol isn't resistant to any of those, so we can just go with what's most powerful. Unfortunately, we're dealing with bad accuracy, but Iron Tail is 100 power, so we can do our best. Abunga can tank. Wow, they swords danced. Okay, I thought they would see a kill. Maybe we could have gotten a Thunderbolt out. Anyways, I think Iron Tail is our best bet. Uh-oh. I don't love the double swords dance. That's fucking terrifying. How much do we do here? That's pretty good. The berry is gonna make this super annoying, though, because assuming that wasn't a high roll... Well, assuming that wasn't a low roll, rather. We won't kill here and then they'll heal? Well, let's see how this goes. Rock Slide, we should tank pretty well. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Even with double swords dance, that's fine. We hit the other Iron Tail. We actually kill. It must have either been a low roll before and a high roll now or something like that. Fuck yeah, okay. Abunga being the answer at the end. Hell yeah. Alright. Cool, cool. That went a lot better than last time. A lot better. No deaths. No deaths. That's what we like to see. Let's heal up. Who knows how the next few fights are gonna go, but I'm happy with that. Just gonna max potion because we have some of those. Alrighty. No deaths. I'm happy with that. Okay. Didn't even bring in Mitio. Yeah, I'm hoping that we can manage this. I'm hoping we can manage this, because we lost last time on this next fight. Win up against Phoebe. But that was because we didn't have our intended sweeper. We did not have our dark type alive. Now we do. So let's see. For Phoebe, we're dealing with a whole lot of ghosts. Like a whole lot. Which means our dark type is actually going to be helpful. And though they can apply a ton of statuses, we resist, like, all their damaging shit, pretty much. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that Phoebe is not much of a challenge. I'm hoping that that's how it goes. I think what I'll do, because they have a Banette with Will-O-Wisp, I think I'm going to give a berry that protects against fire to Hoenn, and go from there. Hopefully we don't get cursed. Worst case scenario, we have to pivot because of that. Alright. We can give Jarenth another berry, because that was a very clutch berry before. Last citrus berry, that is a little concerning, but we should be fine. And I'm going to... They do have Confuse Rate, but also Tatomp is not likely going to be involved here. Alright. Yes, that is the one thing I was wanting to double-check is what our PP is looking like. Still have plenty on Hoenn, still have plenty on Tatomp. Iron Tail probably won't get fully used, so we should be fine. Dragon Breath, we're fine. Yeah, okay. So realistically, Jarenth is our backup here, because though he doesn't resist as well, we have a lot of good dark options there. Yeah, okay. I think we're fine. Gonna level up, actually, before I go through the door in case I forget. Because we're going to level 51 now. 2 levels for everybody. Scary face? Nah. A bunga was... Ooh, metal sound? Emits a horrible screech that lowers special defense. I mean, lowering defense is always nice, but... eh. Alright, there we go. A bunga's leveled. Jarenth. There you go. Bumpted is good to go, and Mitio... Who knows, maybe they'll get their time in the sun this time. Alright, we are fully leveled. Everyone has some kind of item. Let's do it. Ooh, boy. We got everybody, so this should go better than last time. Let's just see how it goes. Hopefully it's a Hoenn sweep, maybe needing some help from Jarenth, but we'll see. Yes, a lot more cards. In fact, twice the cards, and more valuable in this specific context. Let's see how... Okay, they're protecting immediately, of course. They're probably going to go for the double protect. So I'm going to predict that. Howl doesn't really help us. Swagger's a bit silly, but I'm just going to do it. Yeah, they double protected. I predicted that correctly after last time. They really want to waste our shit. But the chances of them being able to protect again or even trying are low. So they're going to crunch now. Not a one-shot, but a two-shot. Okay. And they curse us. That is literally our worst option, but it does kill themselves. In that case, we will immediately pivot to get rid of the curse. Because we're going to lose a quarter health here. But now, I think Jarenth is still the best option. Because we don't know which Banette this is. But neither of them have ice or rock moves. Just making sure I'm not forgetting some glaring weakness of Jarenth real quick. I have way too many tabs open right now. Yeah, so one of them has Thunderbolt, which we're fucking immune to. And then one of them is just Ghost and Dark for attacking, and one is Ghost, Psychic, and Normal. So we should be fine. Like, we don't resist, but we're not dying to anything. Yeah, that is the unfortunate thing. They open with the curse, which is annoying. Okay, Grudge. So we don't want to one-shot, but I sort of doubt that we would. But if we just do either Crunch or Fate attack, it shouldn't be as big a deal, because Grudge isn't Destiny Bond. Okay. I'm gonna Crunch. Presumably we don't one-shot, but you never know. We don't one-shot, so as long as they don't Grudge next turn... Well, actually, they won't get a chance to Grudge next turn, so... Alright, don't love how much that hurt, but we just established we outspeed. Yes, the Ice Beam is something I am aware of. We ran into that issue last time. Alright, so Jarenth has done good. Now their Ace is out, that's the thing with Ice Beam. Meaning... we want to pivot either back to Hoenn, because the curse should be gone now, if I understand curse correctly. Or, but we don't know how well Hoenn will tank it. So we could alternatively go for someone who can resist whatever they throw at us. So they have Ghost, Rock, Ice, and Ground. They're entirely offensive. And I just reloaded the page. Oops. Okay. Yeah, so Ghost, Ice, Rock, and Ground are what we're dealing with. Meaning that our boy Abunga would resist the Ice, the Rock, and the, brain, the Ice and the Rock, but then be neutral to the Ghost and super weak to the Ground, so that's not smart. We're in Gerenth right now, and they're super weak to Ice. Tatomp doesn't really interact with most of those, but is resistant to Rock, but also Tatomp has literally no way of damaging a Ghost. And then Mitio sure does exist. And Clevumpted is just not very tanky. Intimidate would actually be very helpful. Yeah, and Clevumpted is also weak to ground, duh, so... I think we believe in Hoenn and them not picking... Actually, I think all their moves are physical, so I think we should be fine. Ice Beam, let's see how that does. Preferably doesn't freeze us. Okay, we can tank a few of those. We can tank a few of those. Let's see what a Crunch does. We outspeed. Yeah, the thought of Intimidate stacking came to me as well, but I don't think we can manage. God fucking damn it! Of course they have to crit the Earthquake. Of fucking course they have to do that. Well, Tatomp can't do anything to them. Abunga is weak to one of the moves they have. Gerenth is weak to one of the moves they have. Clevumpted is weak to one of the moves they have. And Mitio is here. Without that crit, we would have been fine. They're at half health. Does Gerenth outspeed? Almost certainly. Dusclops is slow as hell. Gerenth is fast. Gerenth is fast. And they're at half health. And has Dark-type moves. We have Crunch. That's 80 power. If we were scared, we could Feint Attack. Alternatively, we could dig it, but that doesn't really solve our issues. I think this is the answer. I think sending Gerenth in is the answer. Castform does have Rain Dance. Castform, we have not changed Castform's moveset, so Castform has just Weather Ball, Rain Dance, Sunny Day, Hail. It's a bit silly. Yeah. I think Gerenth is the answer, though. I think we believe in Gerenth being able to one-shot. Well, finish the two-shot, rather. But the Mitio idea is a very, very valid one. Because if I send out Gerenth, they die. Let's believe in Mitio. Let's believe in Mitio. I think that is my answer here. That fucking crit. That crit is fucking annoying. Because, yeah. It's not at a point where it's going to heal. Yeah, and Gerenth Both Mitio and Jarenth would be valuable in future fights, but Jarenth will keep alive. Yeah. Let's see how this goes. Oh, they're berry triggers. Okay. Bring them deep into the green, but... Okay. Does it matter which one we do? They're not weak or resistant to any of these. So, doesn't really matter which one we do. I'm gonna Rain Dance, I guess. Though actually, Hail is dangerous because if I set that up and then bring other people in, they're gonna be dying. But it will also affect them equally. I'm just gonna Rain Dance. We transform. We see how hurt we get by an earthquake. We did just become water type. Gross. We're fine. And we Weather Ball. How much does this do? Not a one-shot. How much does a Shadow Ball do? Not enough to kill. We're surprisingly tanky. Now, they might heal here. I could see the heal. They don't. We killed the Dustclops. Okay. Past form putting in the work. Mitio doing their job. Valuable part of the party. Something I never thought I'd say. I've never used a cast form. Okay, Banette. That's a good point. That is a very good point. I forgot about that. I have not done a ton of weather bullshit, so... Alright, and I think we can just sort of keep going until Mitio's in trouble? Because... we dealt with one Banette before. And it was the one with Grudge. Meaning we're up against something with... We are up against something with Thunderbolt. Okay, okay. And Castform is currently Water type. Good thing I caught that. Because that means we do not want to just keep attacking. We want to pivot. Assuming we don't outspeed. And one-shot. Because... what's a Banette's speed? Slash health slash tankiness. Okay, 65, 65, 65, roughly speaking. Meanwhile, cast form... trying to be as careful as I can here. Technically has a better base speed and we have better level. Do we think in rain stab 100 power weather ball kills in a one-shot? It's not resisted or anything. Do we think that one-shots? Because otherwise, I think we'd want to swap. To who? I'm not sure. That's a good point. That's a good point. We could cleanly swap to Jarenth. Because they're almost certainly going to go for the Thunderbolt. And if they don't, it's just going to be some other damaging move. My brain. One thing is, if we take Mitio out now, we're only going to get them back in... Yeah, Yeah, I don't think Jarenth... It's hard, because Jarenth has an 80 power, like, super effective move. What the... I'm always so bad at this kind of decision-making where there's not a clear answer. This is where I fucking suffer. What kind of health does a Banette of this level even have? I saw what their base HP is like, but... I always struggle to know what it means for, right, like, in mid-level ranges and stuff. Level 49, you say? Okay. We think that... I'm gonna believe. I'm gonna trust. I'm being bold. Might be a mistake. And they outsped us. But we tanked it! Fuck yeah, Mitio! Not a one-shot. Okay. Good to know. But we tanked that. Mitio did their fucking job. And the berry comes in to make them a little healthier. I didn't account for the outspeed because I thought we would actually outspeed. I'm surprised we didn't. Now then. They're gonna Thunderbolt so we can get the clean switch. That's huge. That would have been a massive blunder if he didn't survive. That's a good question. I don't believe so. I don't know if she's... I think she's used one potion. I think only one. Meaning that they absolutely will now, so we have a clean switch no matter what. Question there is what that means for us. I guess, well, either way, Jareth is our best switch. So I think Jareth is the way, because they have our Dark-type moves. And how fast is Jareth? Decently fast, decently fast. How does base speed compare? They're good, they're good. So, assuming that Jareth can just blast people with crunches and feint attacks, I think we should be fine. Because we also... We're getting pretty low here on what they have. Yeah, there's the potion. Hopefully a crunch does well enough. The rain has stopped. Okay. We outspeed, as I expected. Not a one-shot. Okay. But we got the special defense down. Shadow Ball. Gross. Almost kills us, but we have our berry for that. We know we outspeed. Unless they secretly have another healing item, we can just feint attack. They never used a potion then, I guess. Huh. Alright, so we're not going to one-shot on this. But it does mean that we... Wow, okay, that was as close as damage as I... Okay. We feint attack again because we outspeed. We just win. They just wasted their healing. There we go. And they have one more, yeah. Sableye. The one that Dark is not useful against, meaning we can pivot. There's nothing specifically strong against them, so we can pivot just for what is powerful. They have, for damaging, just Ghost and Dark. And how fast is Sableye? Slow. They're slow. Meaning... Okay. Abunga is tanky, but doesn't resist anything. Mitio isn't going back in. The Tomp can't damage. And Cliv is comparatively somewhat weak, but could definitely tank a hit and is fast. Let's go for Clivumpted. They have a berry. We should be fine. Okay, how much does a Shadow Ball do to us? Well, if they crit, that's annoying and more than we'd hoped, but with the berry, assumingly if they don't crit again, we should survive. And if we survive, I'll then pivot to someone else. Assuming we don't just one-shot. We don't, and they double team. Okay. I believe. We hit it! Your double team means nothing, Sableye! We did it! Only 1 death and to a crit. That's pretty nice. And also, it was the Mon whose main use case was this fight. Okay, I'm okay with that. She crit us massively a couple times, and we still survived largely unscathed. I'm happy with that. Also, Jesus Christ, how are so many people here? I am not used to this. Anyways, let's heal up. Only 1 death, 2 fights in. I'll take it. Yeah, we got a march on. Hoenn was there for a long time with us. Never, like, a mainstay or, like, super crazy in the party. But Hoenn was there a long time and did good work. We will remember them. But first we take their Rossberry. Alright. We've used up a lot of berries. We're not going to get nearly as much value going forward, as we don't have citrus berries. All we have is Hoenn. So we're dealing with ice types. So I could give some Aspear berries to people. And then Hoenn berries to the rest. Yeah. Realistically, that's a nice move, because... But ice isn't that... Like, frozen isn't that common. Probably making sure that our heavy hitters are healthy is... but 10 HP isn't going to make a massive difference. I say as if it's not going to change anything. We've gone through our TMs already, and we don't have much left. We did most of it before. Okay. Yeah, so they have, hypothetically, a chance of freezing us, so... Most of them have Iced Beam, so... Gonna give Aspear Berry to the... I don't know why I gave it to Jareth. Actually, wait, does Tatomp? Tatomp still has a citrus. No, they have a person. We do not need confusion protection. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. We could actually open with Miteo for that reason, because they do start with a pure ice type. I think that is fair. In that case, I'm going to give one of the Aspear berries to Miteo. And then, let's think about this. Tatomp can just beat the shit out of any of them, because I think all of them are weak to fighting. I don't think any of them should resist or anything. Yeah, they're all weak to fighting. So, Tatomp can be the other one who avoids froze. I didn't mean to try to take the nothing from his hands. Because getting frozen is honestly much more dire than needing 10 health. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. So... Okay, that's actually a thing to consider. That's a thing to consider. How fast is Glalie? Faster than Castform, I think. Yeah. So, what we can do is either we can just brute force it and Sunny Day twice to get rid of the hail. Unfortunately, no. That would be useful in certain circumstances here, I know. We have things that regain PP, so realistically I could do a low-power Weather Ball first turn, because they're just going to hail, and they Actually, wait, they outspeed us, right? We want to be outsped in this case. Yeah, we want to be outsped, so I can just Sunny Day turn 1. So we can start with Miteo, Sunny Day to immediately cancel their hail, and then... Assuming they don't just immediately re-hail, we can Weather Ball. And then the moment she goes into a water type, we can go to Tatomp, who can just punch everything. Yeah, it would have been nice to have that for her ace, but unfortunately not. We got Revenge, Vital Throw, Karate Chop, and Seismic Toss. A bit of a funny lineup of moves. Alright. So, in that case, and then a Bunga. Bunga has our last Citrus Berry. That's good to know. A Bunga is going to be another pretty useful one, because I think they also all should be weak to Steel. Well, no, not all of them. The Ice types are. So hypothetically we could do that, but he is also Rock type, which is certainly something. So probably not wanting a Bunga in. Jarenth is Ground type, so don't want them coming in. And then Thunderbolt. Yeah, Thunderbolt works, so Clevumpted is also a semi-viable option. Gonna give them an Oran Berry just to make sure that they can do something in case they get low. And I'll give one to Jarenth as well. Alright. Yeah, we have options in this fight. We have options. Now then, let's level. What is our level cap? 53, another 2 levels. Let's do it. Don't want to over-level accidentally. So I'm trying to be careful. Despite the speed up, which is definitely real and legitimate and not at all a bad and false thing. Sandstorm... Let's double-check our moveset. I don't think it's worth it. There are only Ground type, and... yeah. I think we're fine. Almost over-leveled Jarenth there. There we go. We're leveled. Yeah, I'm gonna try to avoid that. I'm gonna try. But we'll see what happens. So, we got the Miteo opener into the Tatomp. Yeah. This is how we'll go. Hopefully Tatomp can do their best. We're leveled. We have items. We're good. We are good. Let's do it. We have more than one answer to her. Let's just hope that we don't get fucked up. Wait, she opened with Celio? I got my notes wrong. Huh. Okay. Well. And we outspeed a Celio, so okay. I guess we're fucking winging this a little bit. I guess we're casting Sunny Day again. Alright. Sunny Day, but again. Now they presumably... Oh, wow, weird body slam. Doesn't do much to us. Do they actually resist sun, like fire, or are they just neutral? They resist. Well, they do if they have thick fat. Which they do. Okay. Alright. Assuming they don't immediately stop our sunny weather, they're going to be weaker on the ice, but even if they do, that's a wasted turn on their part, so let's get to Tomp in here. Yeah, okay, they just pivoted back, goddamn. Yeah, I wasn't going to just go back and forth because Hail just has more PP. Yeah, realistically, that was a bit silly of a maneuver, but whatever. Alright, what is my best option here? How slow is Celio? very slow. I think slower than us, especially when underleveled. So I think Karate Chop... we don't really care about going faster. So Vital Throw is probably the best bet. I just want to double check what the power difference is. 70 versus 50 with high crit ratio, okay. Alright. Oh, and I didn't give any PP up things, god damn it. Okay. Let's just go for the Vital Throw. Yeah, we're fine against those body slams. And a Vital Throw is so fucking close to killing. We're gonna get chipped by hail, they're gonna heal, and then we can just hit him again and hope that that was a low roll on our part. Yeah, the Paralyze would be annoying, but then our Guts would proc, which is sort of a weird benefit. Okay, no, we got a high roll before. Anyways, do they double heal? I don't think that's how they work, usually. So I'm just gonna Karate Chop. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, wasting a potion there is good, even though we get chipped by the hail. Okay, now they're to the pure ice type, which means there's hypothetically merit to going back to Michio, but I don't think it's necessary. How fast is a Glalie? I think faster than us. Yeah, 80 versus 55 for base. And what do they have? Crunch, Light Screen, and Ice Moves. Okay. So we should be fine against them, but we're outsped, so Vital Throw is just sort of the way to go. I'm gonna double check how the fuck Revenge works, because I want to make sure I use it right. Buddy whoop. Just making sure I know all of the tools in my arsenal. Okay, it's just increased power if hit first. Okay. Which we will be hit first. How much does it increase by? I'm not looking at a reasonable enough source, I guess. Yeah, Mach Punch would be good here, unfortunately. Yeah, so it's decreased priority, and it's double if, okay. Yeah, that's true, that's true. Alright. I'm gonna go for Revenge, because we will be outsped, and it's just 120 power. Hopefully we can take an Ice Beam. We can, but realistically we can't take another. That's unfortunate, but Revenge should just one-shot. It does, good. Oh, that's scary. Okay, they bring in a Celio. The hail has stopped. That's good. That's good. Meaning, does this Celio also have hail? They do. Almost certainly they're going to set that up, meaning that we can just hit them. Presumably. Unless they see a kill. What's the power on those moves? They have Blizzard, which is bad accuracy. And they have Double Edge, which is high power. Yeah, that's scary. Okay. They probably see a kill. They probably see a kill. So, They're probably going to attack. Probably with double edge? I don't know how they calculate reasonability of accuracy. But they might heal... No, not heal. They might cast Hail. I don't know the AI well enough. Yeah, he isn't going to be used much after this. And Celio's slow, right? I'm pretty sure we established that a moment ago. Information leaves my mind as quickly as it enters. Yeah, Celio's slow, so we should outspeed for a hit. Do we willingly potentially sack? Because I don't want to sack if we don't have to. But also, Tatomp isn't going to be used much in the next few fights. Because we're dealing with several flying types, actually. Well, a few. Yeah, that's tricky. Because if we were to pivot, they're going to get blasted. Or get a free pivot because of Hail. Yeah, I'm struggling on this one. Because the other thing is, if we can somehow tank a hit, then we just could just obliterate them with Revenge, but I don't know if we can do that. Yeah, because their Ace is an issue in of itself. Michio can absolutely handle the Glalie, but Walrein, we're going to need to bring in someone else. Okay. Why must this be so difficult? Okay. Here's a thought. Abunga resists all of their damaging moves. So we could switch to Abunga and have Abunga just whittle them down? Because Abunga is fucking tanky as all hell? And also... Actually, wait. How does Ice and Rock work? I was looking at just the fucking... I was thinking of Steel specifically, but they're Steel Rock. They don't interact. Good. Yeah, I think rather than risking Tatomp unnecessarily, Abunga resists very well here. So I think that might be our answer. Yeah, because we resist Ice and we double resist Normal. And that's all their damaging moves. And then they're weak to Rock. Which, guess what we have, I think, if I'm remembering the moves I gave correctly. A Rock-type move. It's not a great one, but it's a Rock-type move. So, I think let's go to Abunga. We do not risk Tatomp. We do not make sacrifice plays. Well, they missed a Blizzard. I'll take it. Alright. In which case, Rock Tomb, please hit. We hit. Good. So that's going to be super effective. And stab. Doesn't one-shot, but will two-shot. And reduces speed. They hail. Not surprising. True. That is also a thing. Yeah, I think this is the right choice. Do we hit the Rock Tomb? We hit the Rock Tomb. 80 accuracy? That's fine. We kill another. We have to keep in mind that they still have another full restore. But we should be able to handle this, I think. Hail continues. They have Surf, which is scary. But that means we know what they're going to do. Because it's already hailing. Unless they try a sheer cold for some reason. So we know they're gonna surf. Meaning something. It sure does mean something. We don't necessarily have anyone who strongly resists it. Yeah, I hope the luck keeps up on accuracy. I'm hoping that stays the same, but the pivot is difficult here. I'm trying to figure out where to go with it. We don't have anybody who resists water. We don't want to send Jarenthin under any circumstances. Okay. Let's think about this. Da-ba-da-ba. Something I always need to remind myself of is... Okay, yeah. Yeah, the fact that Tatomp is low is annoying. If we bring Mitio in, they'll be Ice type. And then we could Sunny Day. But then we'd be Fire type with their Surf. And if we do Hail or Rain, then it's just going to buff them as well, and we're going to resist, but they're going to resist, and it's just going to be a neutral battle, basically. Clevumpted is the correct answer for damage output, but I don't know if I believe in his ability to tank a hit. Though admittedly, special defense-wise, they are one of our betters. They actually are probably the right option. I'm gonna go for it. Hopefully they don't hit us too hard. That's concerningly hard. That is annoying. Yo, the Oran Berry! The Clevumpted dies if they get hit. I was hoping it wouldn't be that powerful. Pivoting around like this is annoying and bad. But they're not guaranteed to do Surf now. It might be a Mitio, like, endurance match. Because if possible, we want Clevumpted to survive to the end for Wallace. Yeah, that was, like, that hurt more than I expected it would. Because they're probably going to do an ice move now, given that Surf isn't specifically better. That's not guaranteed. I think I bring Mitio in, I guess? I don't... Yeah, it's very tanky. That's why I'm, like, I don't want to leave Clevumpted in for, like, an attempt at a single hit, because we're not going to one-shot. We are not going to do that. I mean, unless we crit, but, you know, that's unlikely. Let's compare stats a little bit. We have 104 special attack. You know what? It's at moments like these where we require desperate measures. Time for a fucking damage calc. I'm gonna do it very vaguely. I'm not gonna, like, input a ton of numbers. But I'm gonna put in Electrode. At the appropriate level. Alright. And then I'm going to give them Thunderbolts, because that's the move they have. Apologies for this, but I really want to win this battle if I can, and it's getting a bit dicey. And we're up against a Walrein. Or Whalerain. I'm super slow at typing, evidently. Helps when you get the name right. Alright, what? They're level 53, we know that. Okay. So. There's no way we kill unless we crit, maybe. We're going to be doing about half damage. Meanwhile, trying to be as careful as I can here. Apologies, folks. Surf, Ice Beam are the moves they have. I'm trying to see if somehow we could tank. I sort of doubt it. Yeah, okay, so a Surfer and Ice Beam is gonna do anywhere from 42 to 51% damage to us, roughly. Yeah, no momentum loss is what we're looking for. Aw. Okay. And... okay. Okay. Here's something to think about. If they low roll... No, Hail's active. Hail is active. That's going to kill us even if they don't. Hail is active. That is the issue. So, in that case, Clevumpted won't survive. They could get one hit out, but they will not survive. Meaning, if we send Mitio out and they do ice, they resist that because they'll be ice, but then we'll be shooting ice at them, and it's just going to be a back and forth that's real fucking annoying. Because a cast form of level 53... who's doing Weather Ball in ice is going to be doing, like, no damage at all, and they're going to be doing plenty of damage, I guess. Oh, wait, no. I didn't have it set for snow. Wait, not snow, hail. No, that's not viable, really, either. Huh. Yeah, based on that just very brief damage calc, Mitio wouldn't survive long. Though it might not be accounting for the type change. Oh yeah, it is, and I have to set that myself. My bad. Okay, so if they do Surf, they'll just obliterate us still. But Ice Beam wouldn't do nearly as much damage, so it's not worth it on Miteo. They'd at most get one hit out that would do like 3%. Gerenth is just a bad option. Abunga, if they do Surf, is gonna get fucked up. Because Abunga's special defense is not good. We literally pivoted out of them for this purpose. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's about the same as, well, it's worse than Clevumpted. Hate to say this, but we might have to, like, sacrifice Clevumpted to get a big hit in, and a clean switch into someone else. Because another thing to check is... Because if I could get to Tomp in, and they could attack first, that's a good answer. But Walrein is just faster, is the other thing. I think for us to have a chance, it's Clevumpted laying down their life to get a big hit in. Because Electric will hurt them a lot. And we could always crit. And then we could, from there, go to... Tomp will get outsped. I guess Abunga and just Whittle. Yeah. Crit prayer time. Wait. That is also a thought. That is also a thought. I forgot that we have self-destruct. Because there is statistically no way we survive this. No way. I'm going to separate out from that so I don't accidentally press a button. But what would that do? There's a reason we have it. I completely forgot that we have self-destruct. If only it was an explosion, but, you know, I'll take it. It is a 200 power thing. Oh, hey, it does worse, it looks like. Yeah, no, it's not worth it. Not worth it in this case, unfortunately. Thunderbolt is just better. Please, crit! Please! Please! Or paralyze! That also works. No. We get hit, please low roll. We didn't die instantly, but then the hail kills us. But unfortunately, that's enough damage that they're gonna probably heal. Oh no, they just have a berry, never mind. Okay. So we don't outspeed onto Tomp, so Tomp is not worth it. Miteo will just be a whittling match. The hail is what did it, and I knew that was going to be the case if we got the low roll on their damage. Just still fucking annoying. Okay. Abunga doesn't even... Well, okay, Abunga has a rock-type move, so Abunga has something super effective. I'm going to believe in Abunga's ability to tank one hit. That is my belief. They do outspeed us. I guess no. Gerenth isn't going to be able to do much, but will outspeed. I guess Miteo. Let's see how this fucking mirror match goes. And then the hail stops? Oh my god. Okay. So if we Sunny Day, we're gonna be Fire type, and then they're just gonna shoot us with ice. Well, not ice, with water. So I guess Rain Dance? Because it's gonna resist it, and we're gonna resist, but... Oh, it hurts me. It really hurts me. With Rain Dance, we'll be in water form and will resist everything they do. Oh, or they can just sheer cold us. Okay. Fuck it, I guess. Yeah, sure, why fucking not? What the fuck? Isn't the chance of sheer cold, like, abysmal? What the fuck just happened? Accuracy 30. Yeah, it's accuracy 30. What the fuck? I mean... Arinth, can you one-shot? Nope. Can you tank an Ice Beam? Nope. Because they crit? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? This was going smoothly until the wall rain. Alright, a seismic toss. Okay, right, they pulled fucking restore. I forgot they had another one of those. Should have gone for a different move. Forgot they had a fucking another one. Well, we're gonna be outsped anyways. Let's go for a revenge, in case we survive. Nope. Yeah, that was absurd. If there was average luck going on, like, not even give us half of those crits, just remove half of those crits, remove the hit on the sheer cold, we maybe not have been fine, but we would have been in so much better shape. Well, chalk it up to bad luck, I suppose. That fucking sucks, but I'm not as upset about it as I would be if it was my own fucking fault. I feel like we played decently well there. There was a couple mistakes, of course, there always are. But did the best I could, realistically. Yeah. With that, though we technically have more mods, though we have technically the capacity to do more attempts, we have used most of our good TMs. And, alright. And our remaining picks are not crazy good. We have mostly, like, fire types, normal types, and then some other fucking shit. I don't think we have really a chance, and even if we did, it would take so long to prep that I don't think it's even really worth it. So, unfortunately, I think that is the end for us. I think that is the end of our Emerald run. Well, put it on the scoreboard. Another loss. I don't think I have a great success record. Not doing great. But, yeah. Before we go, I'm just gonna fly us home with just our last surviving mainstays in the party. And then Bingle, because we need someone to fly us. Murnt helped us out a bit at times. There was a point we used Bagabool a bit. These are the ones we care about. Yeah, and sometimes doing weird niche strategy stuff can be fun, but I do not have the energy for that right now after those losses. Those were a bit demoralizing. The first one was largely my mistakes leading into an inevitable loss. The other one was just bad fucking luck. And that can happen. That can happen. But yeah, so I suppose that's going to be the end of the stream, all things considered, in a moment here. Not the way I'd love to end it. I'd love to end on a win, but I don't think we have much of a chance, and we don't really have many encounters left. It's all just, like, water encounters. And yeah, there's not much we can do. There's not much we can do, and I'm not necessarily inclined to retry Emerald from the start. I've done that enough times on my own, and I'd rather give, you know, unique content rather than repeating. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I tried to do as much prep as I could ahead of time, but I definitely didn't do as much as I could for, like, secondary teams. So we'll see how that goes. In the future, maybe I'll be able to do more prep for once we get to Elite Fours. But next time we play Pokemon, it's gonna be Platinum next, which I'm excited for, because Gen 4 is my childhood gen, but also one I haven't played in a long time, or at least fully. Meaning that though it's gonna be very nostalgic for me, it is simultaneously going to be an experience I'm much less familiar with from a practical standpoint, which I think is going to be fun. I think that's going to be plenty enjoyable, and it's going to be nice, because it's one that I haven't Nuzlocked on my own before. And just taking a quick look at my calendar, realistically, we're going to be doing Star Rail this Tuesday, and then next week Tuesday will probably be that. Probably gonna be Platinum next week Tuesday. And then, yeah, we'll just go from there. Oh no, I will gladly accept trivia. I do not know a lot of trivia. I'm not a good trivia person, but I love trivia nonetheless. So I will accept anything you give me. But yeah, so, you know, that's the next 2 streams up to bat. After that, I'm going to be on break on the week of the 30th, so no stream that week. And then, like, I'm going to be, like, on vacation, rather, is what I mean. And then, yeah, then we'll be into January, but that's still a ways off, so we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, so Platinum next week, this week Star Rail, videos as usual, when, like, new promotional material for Hoyoverse stuff comes out, anime as usual, every Friday is what I'm currently sort of doing. And yeah, real happy with how many people showed up for this. I'm sort of shocked. But I appreciate it. I very much appreciate it. And I hope to see a lot of you at the Platinum stream in next week, if not sooner. Because I know that plenty of you are probably here for Pokemon specifically, rather than Hoyoverse stuff. But, you know. So, yeah. Hope to see you all in the future, and future streams and videos and stuff. Bye-bye!